Hey everyone, this is Michelle for Performance High, and I am doing a live today because I have an upcoming mobility clinic, and I wanted to talk with you about why it would be a good idea to be a part of this. So on Saturday the 21st from 9 to 11, myself and my strength coach, actually, Kevin Nichols, are going to be doing a 2-hour clinic called Mobility for Speed, Strength, and Power. And I wanted to just give you a little bit of information on how those pieces connect. So we know mobility. Mobility is like, with the range of motion that your joints go through. And we all know that it's important, right? I mean, it's an important thing. A lot of us don't, especially us, endurance athletes that do a lot of other long stuff. We tend to kind of ignore that part. And I wanted to give you a real world example on why this particular piece is so important to your ability to get faster, get stronger, and have more power. And if it's one thing that I've heard from athletes, it's like when you ask them what do they want, the number one thing that most people say is, I want to get faster. Well, okay, folks, here's your little hack to be able to do that. You need to improve your mobility. So I was in the gym the other day and I saw this particular scenario and I thought, what a perfect thing to explain this particular component. Okay, so what I saw is I saw this person and they were doing overhead presses. And we all know the overhead press, you have dumbbells and you're going up over your head. It's a shoulder strengthener, arm strengthener, etc. And so this is what I saw. So this person had really rounded shoulders. So they had really kind of a hunched over, their shoulders are rounded over because their shoulders are tight. Their scapula, their shoulder blades are tight. And so, when you have rounded shoulders, you tend to have forward head, right? And so they had 5-pound dumbbells in their hands and they were doing presses like this. Okay. So we can, we can just debate whether overhead presses are a good exercise or not. That's not my point today. That's another day. But the point I'm trying to make is if this person was in the gym, which I'm assuming they were, to try to get stronger because they were lifting weights, which yay for them. Totally, totally awesome that they're lifting weights. But here's the dilemma, right? Or here's the problem. If they're the type of body where those shoulders are rounded forward and their overhead presses, because their shoulders are rounded, they can't actually get their arms over their head. Their overhead press comes out to the front like this in kind of an angle because their shoulders aren't flexible enough, their shoulder blades aren't flexible enough to get those arms overhead. If that's the situation, which it was for this particular person doing an overhead press like this, there is no way that they're going to be able to get stronger. And here's the reason why. If you're pressing at an angle like that, then 5 pounds is going to be about all you can do. Because if you tried to go to 10 pounds, most likely your arms would not be strong enough to support that weight, and so they would just fall down. So you're kind of stuck. If this is your range of motion, right? You're kind of stuck with 5 pounds for who knows how long. You won't be able to necessarily increase that weight because you can't support the weight. So if the goal is to get stronger in the weight room, which generally it is, now maybe this person had a whole different reason for being in there, I don't know, but we can only imagine that they're lifting weights to try to get stronger, right? So if that's the point, then this exercise is maybe not the best thing to be doing because they'll never really be able to increase the weight beyond that 5 pounds because they can't support it. As soon as you try to do something heavier, those arms are just going to fall down. And then you aren't essentially doing an overhead press. So this is where the mobility part comes in, folks. It's like if we get those shoulders, because the shoulder blades start to loosen up, if we can do that, if we start to get those shoulder blades to loosen up to where we can get those shoulders back and down into their neutral position, then we can start doing overhead presses. And again, the debate is not whether that's a good exercise or not. This is just an example, but then we can start doing overhead presses that are actually in the right range of motion and supported. So now, you could take a heavier weight and you could actually start lifting that weight because now that weight is right over the top of your body and supported versus hanging out here in the middle of the air, right, where it's unsupported. So this is my connection. This is the connection between strength, mobility, and improved performance. Because here's the deal, right? If you're a runner, if you're a cyclist, if you're a swimmer, one of the ways that we get faster is by applying more power, more force to whatever it is we're doing. In the pool, we apply more force to the water. On a bike, we apply more force to the pedals. We can use a bigger gear or a harder gear, I should say. And on the run, we apply more force to the ground so we can push ourselves forward faster or more, and therefore our speed increases. So if our ability to get faster is dependent upon applying more power and force, then one of the ways we do that is we get stronger, right? So the muscles get stronger, we can apply more force to whatever the object is that we're trying to move against. So weight room, yes, obviously, but if you don't have the range of motion to be able to even think about how to increase those weights, then you're kind of stuck. So this is where I come back to mobility. So super important, shoulder blades, hips, in order for us as athletes to be able to maximize our potential. And then, injury risk, whole nother thing, right? Being more mobile decreases our injury risk because now we can move those body parts through their designed range of motion. All important towards building speed, strength, and power. So if you are one of these people that would love to learn more about this, and I hope that you are, do come to our clinic. Again, it's the 21st, Saturday the 21st from 9 to 11. I'll put the details down below in the comment section if you want to register. We'd love to have you. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be very hands-on. You're going to get to try a lot of different things and feel a lot of different things, and hopefully make these strong connections between why it's so important to be more mobile if you want to be faster. So let's do it, people. This is 2023. It's time to make some new things, do some changes, maybe do things a little differently than you've done them in the past. Here's your chance. Sign up. Mobility Clinic for speed, strength, and power, Saturday the 21st from 9 to 11. I hope to see you there. Thank you. Bye.